News Minute. We are coming to you live from Chennai, and we are coming live at a time when Vijay has just entered the Lok Bhavan, as it's called,
It's
not
not
Raj
Raj
Bhavan,
Bhavan.
force of habit. But he's gone there for the third time in the last couple of days, this time with letters of support to stake claims. Joining me is Shabir Ahmed, our Tamil Nadu Bureau Chief. He's a senior editor with us, and I am Pooja Prasanna. And for the last couple of months, we have been bringing you ground reports from across Tamil Nadu. So before we get into anything else, here's a quick thank you to all of those who supported us, who funded our election coverage. And also a reminder that we run only on your support. So continue becoming subscribers. If you already are, you can contribute to our reporting fund so that people like me, Shabir, and all our reporters can go on the ground more often. But let's get back to the topic on hand. Finally, it looks like the suspense is coming to a draw.
And Pooja is going home.
I hope so. I hope so. But let's bring the numbers. Where are we at? What 117 is what TVK needed to form the government. They were at 108. Because Vijay contested from 2 seats, we'll have to remove 1. So that's 107, right? Tell us, take us through the numbers at this moment.
So 107, and then already they have 5 Congress MLAs supporting Vijay.
Yeah.
And then the latest development is CPI has extended support. They have 2 MLAs, and CPM another 2 MLAs. And VCK is in the process of extending their support. Their internal meeting is a high-level committee meeting is currently underway, and they have to give the letter. And then there's also an attempt that is being made by the TVK to reach out to IUML, which also has 2 MLAs.
Yeah.
IUML, earlier their position was very clear that they want to continue their alliance with the DMK. They want to stay with the DMK. But now the circumstances have changed. There appears to be some kind of maneuvering that has been done by the Congress party. The Congress High Command has reached out to IUML leaders in Kerala, and Kerala leaders have also reached out to their counterparts here in Chennai. So the talks are happening. Mustafa, the Madurai Central MLA, is right now at the IUML office, and he is like holding talks with the IUML MLAs. And then there is also another MLA who has won from an AMMK ticket. AMMK is a party that was in alliance with NDA, TT Vidyanagaran's party.
This is the Mannargudi
MLA, Kamaraj,
who defeated former Minister
TRB
Raja. Yeah.
So he is also inclined to support TVK. So the negotiations are still underway. So it looks like Vijay has crossed the majority mark. He has the he has the required numbers to form the government.
But Shabir, you were talking about who are the parties who have given signed letters. So going by that, right now TVK plus Congress plus CPI plus CPM is still at 116. 117 is the halfway mark. So VCK, although we are getting reports that has informally conveyed that they will come on board, they're yet to give a letter of support. So those 2 MLAs will be very, very crucial. What is although everybody on record comes and says unconditional support, what is happening behind the scenes? What is VCK asking for? Where is the roadblock?
See, every other party that is holding talks with TVK is demanding that they would require some kind of benefits from, when they want to be a part of the government, or they want to extend their support. Except CPIM, which is very clear. Their support is conditional support, and they'll be supporting TVK from outside. They are not going to be part of this coalition government. Whereas VCK is concerned, they want to join the government. Ministerial berths is something that's being discussed. But it looks like VCK wants something more than that. Maybe the deputy chief minister post. And this is an offer that has been made to VCK from the AIADMK side. Remember that AIADMK has also been making some kind of attempts to form the government. How are they going to do this? Though now DMK leaders are saying it's all unconfirmed. There was nothing like that. But talks did happen between the AIADMK and the DMK, and there was some kind of consensus that was reached. The chief minister was not, the former chief minister MK Stalin, they say that he was not okay with it, but others in the party, they were pushing for it. So there was an offer that was made to VCK Chief Tirumavalavan to support AIADMK, and Deputy Chief Ministership was offered to him.
So he wants the same
He
offer now
wants the
from
same offer from
TVK.
TVK, but that is something that is still being discussed because remember, VCK has only 2 MLAs and they want Deputy Chief Ministership, whereas Congress has 5 MLAs. So what will be their demand? So that is going to be a bit of a confusion. So I think that is where the slight hiccup is. But then the TVK, leaders are very hopeful that they'll get a positive reply from VCK because the CPM has extended their support, the CPI has extended their support. In fact, these leaders already they said that any decision that they are going to take, it's going to be a collective decision. So they have already decided, and the national leadership is also being apprised of what the circumstances that are prevailing here in Tamil Nadu. So they have the full backing of the national leadership, both these parties, and the national leaders of Congress have also spoken to VCK chief. So most likely VCK chief will be
Yeah, but I wonder if Congress is regretting not cracking a deal before jumping the gun and announcing support, because they were the first ones, and it didn't look like there was any negotiation that went before they, announced their support. But a quick reminder to all of viewers who are joining us: you can ask your questions to Shabir if you have anything that you want me to answer. Tell us what you thought of our coverage so far. Tell us what you want to know. I do see some comments coming in. In a couple of minutes, we will start taking a few questions in between. Shabir, I want to talk a little bit more in a while about that ADMK DMK possible alliance that was in the works. But let's also tell our viewers what's happening. We saw visuals of Vijay going inside his car, going inside Raj Bhavan. Like I said, for the third time in 2 or 3 days.
3 days.
In fact, I saw a joke on Twitter where people said, why don't you just build a metro between Vijay's house and Lok Bhavan in the interest of environment and all of that. But the thing is, do you think that the governor can still turn him away? Because like we mentioned, 116 is what he has in terms of signed letters. So the governor can still turn him away, saying that this still doesn't satisfy me that you have majority. Do you see that happening at all, or you think it's a done deal now?
No, technically, when Vijay was at 112, the governor had these apprehensions, and apparently, Raj Bhavan sources tell us that if Vijay produces support from 4 other MLAs or 2 more MLAs, the governor will be forced to, invite him, because technically he is the single largest party.
Yeah.
And then he also has the support of, at least 5 plus 4, 9 MLAs. So there is, like it's very clear that he has the required numbers. So all he has to do is prove the majority on the floor of the house. And now background, negotiations are happening and talks are happening. They are also onboarding IUML, which has 2 MLAs. Then they also have another single MLA from AMMK, who is likely to extend his support. So they're pretty okay with the numbers. Like it all reaches, it all, comes down to 121. So that is where things stand as of now. So one thing is very clear, that as far as Vijay's team is concerned, for the past 3 days, there is a breaking news that is coming in. Vijay is going to be sworn in as the chief minister. Tomorrow it's going to happen.
Right.
So yeah, it looks like
fast
things have
developments
worked.
there. But no word on when the flow test will be held. Possibly right after.
Possibly the governor will give him at least 7 days of time or 15 days of time. Actually, the previous talks that were held with the governor, Vijay had asked for 2 weeks time.
Yeah.
So now they don't need 2 weeks.
With the numbers
with the numbers on their side, they can immediately go in for a flow test.
So,
yeah.
But the Sarkaria Commission report from 1983, just to remind our viewers, does say that a leader who's been sworn in as the chief minister can get up to 30 days time to prove majority. Of course, that has been looked at very differently in different circumstances. In our podcast South Central, we discussed how in Yediyurappa's case and in 2018 and 2019 in Maharashtra, that was reduced to 48 hours or 24 hours. But here, there is no such urgency because there's no fear of poaching or horse trading, because Vijay has gone with letters of support. The other way around, that was the next question. There are reports that there is still 1 MLA not accounted for in TVK. One, is that true? Second, is it really as worrying that you need to herd all your MLAs in a resort for Vijay, given the fact that most of them, at least many of them, are first-time legislators who perhaps owe their victory to Vijay? Do you still see a possibility of other parties trying to poach them and them being vulnerable to such activities and attempts?
See, anything can happen because the situation is very fluid.
Mm.
One of the reasons is why Vijay wanted all his MLAs to be present in Chennai. There are still MLAs who are like who are staying at the Four Seasons Hotel in the outskirts of Chennai. The reason is because they need to protect their MLAs. Anything can happen. Like they have been getting reports. When we speak to TVK leaders, they say that the only problem is, as the more the delay is, it becomes very difficult for them to manage these MLAs. Like remember, parties like AIADMK had this problem when they were huddled up in Kuvattur. Their family members were threatened.
Yeah.
There were like people who went to the houses of those MLAs. So there were some kind of unprecedented scenes, that took place in the past. So given the circumstances that they are in, what the priority is to form the government. So that is what TVK leaders were actually focusing on, firming up the numbers. But then you also have to protect your own numbers. If one MLA is missing, two MLAs are missing, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah,
and
that's a trick, right?
this is also very, it's quite uncertain, right?
Yeah.
Nothing
the
is settled.
wafer thin majority, that is the danger of it,
Exactly.
right? And you're talking about parties with two legislators holding a government to ransom. I'm going to quickly see if we can answer one or two questions before we take this forward. Rohini asks, hi, when will Vijay be sworn in as a chief minister? As Shabir just said, that will happen tomorrow. We don't know the time yet. What time tomorrow is yet to be ascertained. Is it true that DMK and ADMK was going to form an alliance? That's why the left folded. We will actually answer this in just a bit because we have spoken to leaders from both CPI and CPIM, and we'll get to that in just a bit. AMMK is deceased though, okay, says Ponni. I'm not going to comment on that. Has VCK given their letter of support to TVK? If they had not, will the governor still deny Vijay? But at the time we are doing this live, VCK has not handed over the formal letter of support. We understand that they've conveyed that they will be part of this government, not even outside support, part of this government. Will the governor deny? That has been answered by the fact that Vijay will be sworn in tomorrow. Hari Haran says, what do you think of AIDMK? As all of their gimmick words from their leaders has been completely disturbed. What do you think about MLAs? Is there a possibility to move to TVK later? I think it's a bit early to comment on that. I think they will also perhaps wait and see if it makes sense to go to TVK and what role will they have? Will TVK need more people? So too early to comment.
IUML has given their support. So
IUML
technically, Vijay has crossed the majority mark. So he has 118 MLAs on his side.
The announcement has come.
So
they've
the
given
announcement
a letter
has
of
come,
support.
yes.
Right.
And then if they get the letter of support from TVK, then it's clear they will be at 120.
VCK, you mean?
Oh, sorry, VCK. They'll be at 120.
Yeah.
So the numbers are on Vijay's side. So I don't think the governor can still hold back or delay the entire process. So Vijay will be sworn in.
120 is definitely a better place to be in. He was at 116 a little while ago. Couple more questions before we get back. Is IUML standing firm on their decision? Shabir just answered that. Yes, IUML from outside. What kind of risks are there for TVK to complete 5 years of administration? This is the part I wanted to focus on next.
Yes.
What kind of risks? I think your guess is as good as mine because Vijay is a political novice. His campaign was something that probably came more easier to him because talking to people, interacting with people is more natural. But running an administration on one side and keeping such tricky coalition partners on the other side, because Shabir, as we were talking a little while ago, CPI and CPM have said outside support. And they have put very clear stipulations. One of the things they're speaking about is continuation of welfare programs and also implementation of all the promises that Vijay has made. That is a tall ask because many analysts tell us that if he was to implement all of the promises made, it could cost the state far more than what the DMK government was costing. Okay, we will. So the question is how tricky will it be?
See, it's going to be very difficult. It's not going to be easy because one, you have partners like CPI, CPM, and VCK. So definitely they'll be having their own demands.
Yeah.
There'll be like a lot of things that these parties would want to implement as when they are supporting the government from outside. Whether there is going to be some kind of common minimum program, like so far we haven't heard anything, because when CPIM or CPI, when they when they want to support someone, there is always a common minimum program. But in this case, there is no common minimum program. The agenda of both these left parties is that they are trying to help a secular government. They want a secular government in Tamil Nadu. So that has been their primary agenda. And apart from that, what CPIM says is that they were asked to support AIADMK.
Yeah.
And
they don't mention from whom, but they say they were asked
to support AIADMK. So that is something that has flipped everything.
Yeah.
So I think somebody
Praveen
asked that
Kumar,
question.
I want to actually address this very quickly, Shabir. Good you brought that up. Apologize to the people for creating unwanted panic, especially the storyteller Shabir.
Yes.
We will play the phono. Praveen Kumar has also said, would you all just accept you created a conspiracy and unwanted people? Praveen, I'm guessing you're talking about the DMK and AIDMK possible alliance. It isn't Shabir who made up any such thing. D. Raja of CPI has gone on record. He spoke to our editor-in-chief, Tanya Rajendran, and said that they did not want to be in a coalition, in an alliance, where AIDMK would be part of, because they thought that it would lead to communal forces getting into the state. I also think it's a good time to play this phono of MA Baby of what we're going to play out now is the phone interview to Dhanya given by MA Baby, the General Secretary of CPI. And if you think this is something we're making up, Praveen, here's a good time for you to listen to what MA Baby has to say. He's describing the circumstances under which they decided to lend their support to TVK.
Decided to extend support to Mr. Vijay of Tamil Vetri Kalagam, because there were efforts to subvert the electoral verdict given by the people of Tamil Nadu. People of Tamil Nadu gave overwhelming support to TVK, defeating the incumbent government led by DMK and the opposition alliance of AIDMK and BJP. And TVK almost reached the majority mark, short of 11 seats. So the Democratic Convention is that the single largest party would be given an opportunity to prove their strengths after allowing them to swear in. This is what the president did when BJP was the single largest party, though they didn't have any majority. So Sri A.B. Vajpayee took oath as Prime Minister. Then there was floor tests where he would not win. He had to resign. So there were many such instances. Here, Mr. Vijay of TVK had a near majority. Only shortage of less than a decent. Why the governor did not follow the general tradition and convention, constitutional value? So the governor, being appointed by the BJP government, union BJP government, so the governor should not be given an opportunity to be viewed as an instrument of the union government, meddling with the state politics. So to prevent BJP playing games in Tamil Nadu through the governor, we decided that it is prudent upon us to extend support to the single largest party to prove its majority. This is the reason. No, this idea was communicated to us. That is an opportunistic alliance, because these parties have been defeated by people. DMK was the ruling party, and we were part of that. We have been defeated. Then ADMK was the opposition party. People did not elect the opposition party. People chose a new party. and didn't go near majority. And if we join hands with the machinations to prevent that single largest party from getting an opportunity to prove their majority, there will be anger among people. There will be frustration. So being a democratic party, CPIM and our friends of CP and VCK, we have decided that people's direction, that a new party should take charge of Tamil Nadu, there should not be sabotage through devious means.
Okay, that was M.A. Baby, who's the General Secretary of CPIM. CPIM, talking to Dhanya Rajendran, confirming that they decided to extend support because they did not want a coalition. They didn't want to be part of coalition of DMK and AIDMK. So no, it is not a conspiracy by Shabir or Dhanya or anybody else.
I'll tell you one thing. Before reaching out, like before considering their decision to support TVK, or when the comrades were actually contemplating, they did not want to extend support to TVK. They were very clear, because they have been fighting Congress in Kerala and they've lost this election. And once again, here they are in an alliance where Congress is initiating the entire process. Congress is building a new anti-BJP front here in Tamil Nadu. So they were very reluctant to extend support. But what happened was, when the news spread that there is going to be an alliance, an unlikely alliance, unimaginable alliance between the AIADMK and the DMK, that's when the CPI and the CPIM, they decided that they will support TVK. Also, one word that M.A. Baby, the General Secretary of CPIM, uses is there were attempts to subversion of democracy in Tamil Nadu. The mandate of the people, which is nothing but an attempt was made, which was scripted by the BJP. The BJP also played a crucial role in bringing both these parties together. They were like, there were some kind of negotiations that were going on, but before it could take shape, the CPI, CPM, and VCK decided that they will support TVK. And now TVK chief Vijay, after meeting Tamil Nadu governor, he has now reached out to CPI. Currently he's at the CPI office, and next he will be going to the CPIM office, and after that to VCK office. Like when the meeting gets over, then probably by the time he's there, and I think he'll get the letter from VCK chief Tirumavalavan himself. So that is how things have panned out in the last 24 hours.
So as of now, just to remind our viewers, TVK has the support of Congress, CPI and CPM, and expected to get the support of VCK formally. We're yet to get confirmations on IUML. As of now, IUML has officially said that they're staying out of the alliance. There's also no clarity on AMMK, the lone MLA of AMMK. Before we take more questions, a quick reminder.
But I think in his letter, Vijay has taken claim saying that he has support of 118, which means he has got the support of
VCK possibly,
IUML MLAs, and also one AMMK. I think he has included that.
So that would take the number, Shabir, to 120.
No, 120, I understand. VCK has not given the letter. VCK's letter was not given now. So I think without VCK, Vijay now stands at 180.
But he wouldn't have the letters of support from AMMK and IUML either. So we yet to see how 118 is the number they've arrived at. But VCK is more likely, because at least informally they have announced. Like I said, a quick reminder to everybody to, if you appreciate our election coverage and the programs that we brought, then make sure that you contribute to our reporting fund. And we will take more questions now from our viewers.
Kaushika.
What will now become, Kaushika asks, what will now become of infra decisions like Parandur Airport that left are giving their approval? Shabir, you want to take this?
Parandur Airport is a very tricky issue. The left has been opposing that project, both CPI, CPIM. Even to a certain extent, VCK was also, standing with the people of Parandur. And Vijay's the first issue that Vijay picked up was Parandur. So he has promised the people of Parandur that he is going to ensure that the project doesn't take off. So I think one of the few decisions that Vijay will be taking is to scrap the Parandur project. And in fact, there has been a lot of lot of committees that have looked into the project, and environmental experts have opined on that project. They say that this project is something which is going to be disastrous for Chennai, and even pilots, like people like Captain Mohan Ranganathan, they have raised red flag over that project. So I think all these things will be taken into consideration. And
politically,
I think,
also, it will be a point of convergence for all of the allies. So that will help. Can DMK bully Vijay and TVK by pushing communists and VCK to pull support from TVK during its regime? I mean, I think going by what we can say safely, it looks like they have spoken their mind. They have a mind of their own, and they've taken a decision based on what they think is right. Now, we can't get into what will happen in the future. We're not fortune tellers. But if that was to happen, you can be assured that we'll be there to report on it.
No, when they are part of an alliance, then there is something called alliance dharma. They will not be creating so much of trouble. And if they do that, being part of an alliance, that is going to be extremely problematic for these parties.
I don't know if I'm as optimistic as you are, because let's also remember the alliance dharma would apply for them because they did contest elections as part of the DMK alliance. They chose to walk out of it.
The fact here is that why did CPI, CPM, and VCK consider, took a decision to support TVK is because they want to ensure that there is a secular government here, and there is no room for BJP to maneuver.
Yeah.
So that is one of the reasons.
No, but I'm saying as far as alliance dharma is concerned, I don't know how much of that would apply.
I think that's all some internal negotiation that I expect to happen. Yeah.
CPI and CPM are just providing the support, but they will be with the DMK alliance. How does that work? Actually, that's quite unprecedented because till date, I don't think we've seen a situation where any party has said that we lend our support, outside support to one particular party, but we're still in alliance with somebody else. I'm not too sure how that would work. It'll be interesting to see, Shabir, for local body polls, and if this does last till say 20, when is the next election? 2029. Would they contest it together, Lok Sabha elections? Because Congress has made that announcement. When they gave their letter of support, they said this is applicable for local body polls, for the Lok Sabha elections. Do you think CPI, CPM would do that?
Yes, I think it will all work out. They'll contest with TVK. So it's not like physically I'm present here, my heart and soul is with the DMK.
But what would it mean when they say we're still part of the DMK alliance?
No, it's like they're saying that, we have a common agenda. So anti-BJP plank is something which even DMK is part of, right? But the larger point here is, how did IUML agree to support TVK? The interesting story is Congress reached out to IUML and they said that there's no India alliance in Tamil Nadu. The new India alliance is TVK alliance.
Is there an India alliance outside Tamil Nadu?
Maybe they claim that there is an India alliance at the national level. So how did they convince IUML? IUML was very rigid.
Of course.
IUML said that I will not come out of I'll not dump DMK. But a word was conveyed to IUML that the new India alliance is TVK led alliance. So you have no other option but to support. So this is the India alliance. Even as we speak,
there are pictures coming
of comrades embracing TVK chief Vijay, and it's happening at the CPM headquarters, which is located in T Nagar, and in the same street you have the BJP headquarters too.
Yeah.
So if Vijay was forced to seek the support of AIADMK, probably there would have been visuals of him visiting the BJP headquarters, Kamalalayam as well. Yeah.
But I find it also interesting that Adhav Arjuna is around the CPIM and CPI leaders. We'll not get into that just yet. But on your point of whether CPI and CPM will work with them, I'm not entirely in agreement with you, because I feel that when they say we are in the DMK alliance, perhaps they will choose to contest elections there, because their logic might be that we gave the support to make sure that there is no precedence rule or ADMK or some DMK come together, but that might not be applicable as far as other elections are concerned. That's my reading of it. It's all very ambiguous right now.
It all depends on what the DMK does next, because DMK took this drastic step. I don't know what was the reason, why did they do it, but they were considering aligning with AIADMK or extending support to AIADMK. Technically, AIADMK is nothing but NDA in Tamil Nadu, because it was a brand that was built by. It was the entire campaign was that, right, in 2021, that
No, also
AIADMK is
DMK throughout the
NDA.
campaign kept saying any vote for AIADMK
Correct.
is a vote for BJP.
Exactly.
Now, although the way they were looking at it is that AIADMK will walk away from the NDA alliance, the fact is that they fought the elections together, much like all of these parties fought the election together.
Exactly.
So if they're saying that this is backstabbing, I think in a way the same logic would apply. Somebody says, independent of Vijay's success in the next 5 years, I think it's fair to say that both DMK and ADMK have to completely re-strategize for the future. The duopoly is effectively dead. I think that's one thing we can both have consensus on.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, great
Any
point.
minister portfolios decided? Too early?
Too early, but they were already working on it. I think all the popular faces of TVK will be part of the cabinet.
Tell us who they are, though. Not too many people are familiar with the faces of TVK, Shabir.
See, Vijay, Chief Minister. You have Arun Raj. You have the General Secretary.
Tell our viewers who Arun Raj is.
Arun Raj is a former IRS officer. Then you have Anand. Anand has some kind of experience in administration.
From
the
T-Nagar,
General
he's
Secretary.
The MLA,
he's the MLA from T-Nagar. Then you have Nirmal Kumar, who is the Joint General Secretary. Then you have Adhavar.
Nirmal Kumar is the MLA from Tirupparagundram. Tell us what his background is.
Nirmal Kumar was earlier with AIADMK. Before that, he was
son of the former AIADMK.
Someone of a former. He has some kind of political experience and someone who has defeated Rajan Chellappa. He's like a household name in Tirupparagundram. Very strong candidate. And then you have Venkatraman, who is the General Secretary or who's the treasurer of TVK, and he's someone who's a very close friend of Vijay, somebody who handles Vijay's financial affairs and legal affairs and everything is being looked after by Venkatraman. So Venkatraman will also be part of the cabinet. And then the one problem that they will have is that all these people have contested in Chennai. Adhavarjuna, Anand, Venkatraman, and Nirmal Kumar is from Tirupparagundram. And Senkotain will also be part of the cabinet, because Senkotain is going to be the most experienced person. Whether Senkotain is going to be the part of the cabinet or whether he is going to be made as a speaker is something that remains to be seen, because when you have a very thin majority, speaker's role is very important. So you need to have a person who knows what to do when there is a crisis. So speaker's role will be, very important. So they cannot have a speaker who is just inexperienced, right? So there's JCD Prabhakar again. He's from AIADMK. So I think these are the people.
But
who
will Congress? Is it true that Congress asked for two ministries?
Congress has asked for 2 ministries.
Any particular ministries?
That I'm not sure, but they have asked for 2 ministries. I think Rajesh Kumar will be part of the ministry, and he is the legislative party leader. And there's also another MLA. I think there's some discussion that is going on. But IUML also wants to be part of the ministry. And then CPI, I'm not sure, but they say that it's unconditional.
But as of now, they've said they'll give outside support, which means they'll not be part of the government.
So I think VCK will be.
VCK will perhaps be. But, important ministries like home, industries, finance, these I think will be, it'll be interesting to see who will get these. Future of DMK or Congress, especially Lok Sabha, I don't know if they have a future together anymore, given the kind of animosity we've seen between the two parties.
No, it's all over. No, like today, Kanimuli Karnanidhi has sent a letter asking for seating arrangements to be changed. So they don't want to sit with Congress MPs in the parliament. So it's clear.
Somebody says, won't these risks wane away once TVK performs strongly in the upcoming local elections and then in Lok Sabha elections? If they perform well, I think their position will get stronger and the allies will create fewer hurdles for them. The functioning will be far smoother.
So I think we have got some kind of appreciation for audio. Well done for the audio. So that's because of Megha. Megha
Mukundan is a producer, and Nitish is also here with us, ensuring that we pull this off smoothly. And outside support means supporting government on the floor of the House without being part of the Council of Ministers. Absolutely right. Couldn't have put it better ourselves. Is TNM happy now that BJP is decimated in the state? Honestly, we don't have skin in the game. Whether BJP is there, TVK comes, DMK forms the government, we'll continue doing what we do, which is report on all of them. So,
but one interesting fact is during DMK's regime, the BJP grew.
Mhm.
They were at 11%.
Mhm.
The BJP was
Yeah.
hoping that they will get
They'll
more
grow
seats,
there,
they'll
yeah.
grow further. But at this time, because of Vijay, because of TVK wave and all that has happened, BJP is back at 3%.
But the silver lining, what they'll take out of it is they still got one MLA
Yeah, exactly.
in
One
Ooty. So
MLA in
that's
Ooty.
I think AIDMK would get vanished soon. What do you think, Shabir? What do you think?
See, it's you know, you cannot write off AIDMK. It's too soon to make that assumption that AIDMK will be, you know, will vanish. But definitely, yes, there are going to be problems within the AIDMK. Now that Vijay is forming the government,
Yeah.
there'll be internal issues within the AIDMK. A lot of people are not okay with the kind of decisions that EPS has made in the run-up to the elections. There were a lot of seniors who gave him different ideas, who came up with different, you know, approaches. But EPS said, no, we are winning this election. You don't worry. It's on me. So now this is 11th election that AIADMK has got defeated. And this is one of the most crucial elections. It was a do or die battle for the AIADMK. And now EPS will have to do a lot of answering.
But I must say that, EPS did emerge as first amongst equals,
Yes.
because there were a lot of people wanting to take the party forward. He's done a decent job in holding the party together. And also the kind of campaign that he did do in the last couple of years is commendable. But in the last 3 to 4 days after the results came out, we've been reporting about how many former ministers now think that, it's our turn now. You were given a chance and you could not bring us back to power. Now it's our turn. But I don't know if it's as simple as that.
No, I think that's going to be one
Shabir,
issue.
there is, I think it's now we can address these things. I know Shabir is supporting TVK a lot. Do you want to?
No, I am not a TVK supporter. I'm not a TVK fan. What I did was, I was just reporting on this election. I was telling you what the ground situation was. When every other journalist challenged me, and I said, no.
We also told Shabir quite a bit internally.
No, I was like,
good jest,
I was just reporting on what I saw on the ground. There was a lot of support for TVK, and TVK is just a 3-year-old party or 2.5 years old party.
Yeah.
So everyone was underestimating TVK, and I was just trying to tell you that no, this is wrong.
Okay, let's get to the second part of the question. Does he agree that Vijay is turtle and has to come out of his shell?
Yes, he has to. There's no other way. Now our job becomes even more critical and crucial, because we will be keeping a close watch on what he does, because there's a lot of support from people, right? People have given him the mandate, trusting him. And if Vijay is not going to fulfill that, if Vijay is going to take it lightly, then it's our responsibility to call him out, and we will do that.
Praveen Kumar, whose question we took earlier, has now come back with another thing. He says there are multiple interviews that are provided clearly, which are open in public, but you pick one which came later today to suit your narrative. Well done. You have the media. I have none. Congrats. Praveen, I just want to put this out there. We were not recklessly saying this. Anything that we put out would be after multiple conversations with not just one side, but several other parties. And this is the first time CPI and CPIM came out on record and said that this was happening. And that's why we put it out. So it isn't just fabrication. I appreciate you engaging with us, but do have trust that we are putting out only verified information. We'll take a couple of questions before we wrap this. Something about Rahul Gandhi becoming president. Could you please help?
President of Congress Party?
I have no idea.
Or president of what?
It doesn't specify. Could you please help to understand how the dynamics would be at union level with DMK plus Congress in alliance, and at state level, them not being in one? Can this impact TVK's governance? I don't think they are in alliance nationally either, because, they haven't managed to win. So they were part of India Alliance. We don't know if that even continues anymore. Will there be another version of it without Congress? I think it's early days, but we can expect a lot of drama. Will it impact TVK's performance? I don't think so. Not
TVK
directly.
people should not allow this DMK funded channel. There is nothing called DMK funded channel, AIDMK funded channel.
We are funded only by our subscribers, so you can become one and fund us.
Exactly. That's the point that we want to make. Shabir, please come out of News Minute. Okay.
Are you getting job offers now, Shabir?
God.
Will this government be stable? I think it's tricky. I'd say it's tricky.
No, as long as Congress and CPI, CPM are there, they are not going to be very impulsive to pull the plug. I think there'll be some kind of checks and balances though. But this is good for TVK, in my opinion.
I mean, I think
Because
Congress doesn't have
imagine,
anywhere else to go.
I'll tell you, Pooja, what happens if TVK gets 160 or 140.
Mhm.
They don't have prior administrative experience,
Mhm.
and if they take wrong decisions, if they take right decisions, nobody's there to question them.
Mm.
The opposition party, yes, DMK is a great opposition party, but DMK will keep questioning. But to what extent? After one point, they will also be like, okay, we have the required support, we'll do whatever we want. So this will be like a BJP kind of a situation. So now, if Vijay is, Vijay is running this government with the support of Congress,
Yeah.
with the support of CPI, CPM, VCK, there is a collective responsibility.
Correct.
Even if Vijay doesn't talk, then these leaders are answerable, right? They will
No,
have
but
to.
I
They
do
will have
hope
to
that
spoke.
Vijay
He
does
has to
talk.
talk.
I hope he does
talk.
come
Yeah,
up
I
and
think
engage
he
with the
should.
press, which he didn't do in the run-up to the
Exactly.
elections. That has to be mentioned. But yeah, like you said, it can't be a one-man show like his parties. His party is all about him. Now, there will be people asking questions. I think we should also just talk about somebody appreciating our work, Shabir.
Where?
Let's truly, this is Sarat Krishna who says, truly appreciate how you guys have been upholding the sanctity of journalism, even with your minimal resources. Absolutely. Will definitely pay to keep news free. Be like Sharat Krishna.
Yes.
CPIM didn't leave DMK though. I agree. They've said that we are still part of the alliance. I'm just quoting them. Not sure how that will pan out. What is the beef between VCK and PMK? You want to take that?
What is the beef between VCK and PMK? Yes, VCK and PMK, like in the early days, VCK and PMK were very, their idea, like their politics was very similar.
Yeah.
They were all like very good with each other. But now things have changed. The point is that there's a lot of animosity between the Vaniyas and the Dalits in the northern regions of Tamil Nadu. So they don't get along well. In fact, VCK chief and PMK chief Dr. Ramadas, they were all good friends. In fact, they were all, pally with each other. They were all exchanging praises and all that. But I think now things have fallen apart. VCK and PMK, they don't see eye to eye, and I don't think they will get along well.
It's 7:47. Just an update that so far VCK has not formally given a letter of support to TVK, and the same holds good for IUML. No letter of support, no statement of support either. This is the first time I have watched election news for 4 days, 24/7. Really appreciate the coverage. Much love to Shabir Anna. This is Vignesh Ravikumar.
Thank you, Vignesh.
CPI and CPM won't allow right-wing policies, right? Well, your guess is as good as mine. But going by what they've said, they have specifically said that we are part of this. We're extending support to make sure that welfare schemes continue. So we hope that they stick to their word. New India Alliance. CPM Shanmugam clearly says the DMK leader never said TVK should form government. He clearly indicated that MK Stalin said he will act a strong opposition party, but you pick baby video. Praveen is back with another comment. Praveen, we are just reporting. We did report, that statement that MK Stalin gave to Times of India, where he said we will allow Vijay to form the government. But when MK Stalin does say that, we will report on that too.
Thank you for your coverage, Shabir, Pooja, Dhanya.
Thank you for watching, Ash. What about IUML? Have they ditched DMK Alliance or are they providing outside support? Like I said, we don't know as yet. They haven't issued any statement of support, nor have they said again that they're part of DMK Alliance.
Hi, Shabir Anna. Do you think the left and VCK will give more Kodachal? Kodachal means trouble.
Yeah.
To TVK,
Kirik as it's
called. Unlike how they were silent with the DMK and Stalin. I think these parties are very vocal, but instead of giving Kodachal, if you want to do something constructive, see, this is the first time CPIM or VCK have got an opportunity to demonstrate that they can also come up with good policies. They can also do something constructive, because earlier they were all junior partners of DMK or AIADMK. They had no say in the government. They can only apply pressure from outside. This is the first time that they can bring about some kind of change, some kind of meaningful change. So I think they should use this opportunity instead of giving Kodachal, because this is something which will also elevate their image. consolidate their grassroots support. And
I
also,
slightly disagree with one thing you said. This is the first time they've been given an opportunity. I think CPI, CPIM have been pressure groups wherever they are,
Exactly.
whether they're part of any government or not. So I don't think this is the first time they've been given an opportunity to be
so in Tamil Nadu, I'm saying,
no,
like,
even in Tamil Nadu, I'm saying with DMK too, I'm sure they were pressure groups, because if you look at some of the decisions of the DMK government, it does show tendencies of or certain leanings towards the left. But I would also add to what Shabir said. This, I think, depends a lot on how Vijay governs, right? He is an untested commodity in that sense. What will his style of governance be? Nobody knows. CPI and CPIM also don't know. So will he come to them for consultation? Will he take their inputs, not just to form the government, but also governance? I think a lot will depend on that. Their cooperation will be a two-way street, I hope. Thiruma's position at this moment, we don't know. But informally, informally he said that he will lend support. How do you see internal rift between India blocs? I don't know if there is an India bloc that still exists. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Impossible 22. I wish you a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Will there be a third front least Stalin? Looks like that, going by certain movements. Shabir, will be interesting because there are a lot of allies outside of Tamil Nadu who don't want to be seen on the same platform with Congress. YSRCP, BRS, BJD. Mamta Banerjee was also very, and there was an agnostic with the Congress, once here, once there. So I think there is a possibility of a third front without Congress. I've always thought hung assembly is good for the state and democracy, as it keeps the ruling party in check. But everything that has unfolded in the past few days, I'm not so sure any more thoughts. I have my own thoughts, but I want to know what you think.
See, hung assembly is fine. Yeah, you get a chance to govern the state with the support of alliance partners. So if there is a collective responsibility for all the parties together, then it becomes important. Like, then there is some kind of transparency. There's this debate and discussion. So if you have leaders like Jayalalitha, things will be very different. Like, if you had leaders like Karnataka, probably Karnataka would have managed to, form the government with the support of these alliance partners, and there'll be no coalition government. I think in Vijay's case, Vijay had already made that promise that he is going to he's going to give cabinet berths to his alliance partners,
right?
Because that was the first statement that he made during the Vikramandi conference, the first conference of TVK. So I think that is one of the reasons why Vijay is now accommodating all these alliance partners into the cabinet. So cabinet berths will be accommodated. Yeah, like you said, a collective leadership is good, is what I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if not a hung assembly, I think a coalition government coming together is something I would personally always talk about, because we've seen what happened even when Manmohan Singh was the prime minister, when CPI and CPIM were not in agreement with something. This is the 1, 2, 3 nuclear deal I'm talking about. They did threaten and walk out. Of course, that did go through finally. But I'm saying that they can act as pressure groups and get some things done if the government is being very autocratic.
Okay, I saw a comment or question from someone who is asking about the party structure of TVK, whether it is centralized or decentralized. As of now, it looks like it's very centralized, but it has to be decentralized. Because they clearly don't have a party structure. Though they have party functionaries, they have a skeleton. But as a political party, they have to evolve. They have to, like, there needs to be a lot of work that needs to be done.
From fan club to a proper cadre-based party.
Yeah, cadre-based party. See, now the party workers have some kind of prior experience of fighting an election, working for an election. They are like so confident that, okay, next election we'll do this, we'll do that and all that. But then you need to have that spirit going. So that is a challenge that Vijay has, because he has to constantly ensure that he addresses the internal issues of the party, and he keeps focus on what is happening within the party, because you cannot have a structure which is like which runs on autopilot, right? So what I have realized about TVK in the past 2.5 years is that whenever there is a crisis, the party is missing in action. who is taking decisions, who is making calls. We don't get to know what exactly is being discussed.
Yeah.
And there is completely no access. So there has to be a lot of things that needs to be done. On one hand, your focus will be on governance, but on the other hand, there has to be people who should look into what needs to be done, as far as the party is concerned.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have, like, the party has to have a work plan, right? There has to be a workflow. In this case, clearly there is none.
Yeah.
So I think those are the things that Vijay should focus. And I think
there was a
there'll be some
question I
people,
saw, which I can't find anymore, about what will happen to, here it is, what will happen to Dravidian ideology. Why I find this interesting is while Vijay says that he is TVK is the Dravidian party, what do you think of it? He hasn't spoken enough about issues because his campaign has been quite rhetorical. Very dramatized statements. So we don't know what his stand on many things are. So do you think TVK is part of it is a Dravidian party, or do you think that era has changed, or do you think Dravidian ideology is evolving? Where do you stand on that?
See, I think as far as ideology is concerned, one thing that TVK was very clear from the beginning is that they don't want to come up with, another ideology or like a new thing that they have to do a lot of explaining. For example, spiritual politics. Now, what is spiritual politics? Rajinikanth was asked this question and he said, like, okay, my head is spinning. And then you had Kamal Hassan, who said, what is your ideology? He said, my ideology is centrism, this, something and all he did, right? He was trying to explain, but people didn't understand. So the problem here is that if you come up with a new ideology, you have to do a lot of explaining. There'll be a lot of questions. So what Vijay did was he played the safe game. He said that my ideology is social justice. But he added secular social justice.
How is that different from Dravidian ideology?
Same, nothing. And he iconized Periyar. He has brought in Kamaraj. He has brought in Ambedkar. He has brought in two women leaders, two women icons, Velu Nachiyar and then Anjalai Ammal. So basically, what Vijay did was he was showing that he has an ideology. But nobody knew what exactly his ideology is.
Nobody
is
what
able to
ideology
explain. No leader in TVK except a few can talk about. For example, Adav Arjuna can say something about it because Adav Arjuna is someone who knows the ideology of several parties and all that. Because remember, we worked on Adav Arjuna's profile. If you go to News Minute website, become a subscriber, and please read that profile to know who are these people. So Tilagavati, who is the aunt of Adav Arjuna, the first IPS officer of Tamil Nadu, she told me that this guy would bring books to her office and he'll be engaging in a debate and discussion from his early days. So that's how he got interested in politics. So basically, he knows something about ideology, and there are people who can explain. But at the end of the day, politics is different, ideology is different, governance is different. So I think it will all be theatrical. So what Vijay did in this election is he used the same old technique that the DMK used. But the DMK had some kind of cause. The DMK was talking about some kind of ideology. At that time, it was required. So
I think what we've seen is that he managed to win as many 1 or 8 seats without talking about ideology. It is completely personality centric now. Big fan of Miss Pooja's ground coverage and Let Me Explain series. Please continue doing it. I have absolutely plans of doing it. And you can support the show. Thank you for the great coverage. Do you think they will take part in the government? I'm not too sure who you're talking about, Padma. Hi, ma'am. We're watching your videos at All Perspective. What do you say about this election? I've been talking about it last 1 hour. Taking the journalist hats off. Who are your favorites during pre or post election?
Somebody has asked about Tung 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 Saur.
Who's that?
This is. I know these characters. My son used.
I have no idea. I'm sorry. I claim complete ignorance. Might I respectfully solicit your erudite perspective regarding enigmatic character of Tung 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 Sa? I have no. This is the first time I've heard of it. Shabir, if you have any.
I have. But
please.
I don't know. These are some characters of some cartoon. I forgot. My son used to.
You're clearly not spending enough time with your son, Shabir.
No, okay. Oh, Italian brain rot. Yes, this is Italian brain rot. I know. Yeah, Italian brain rot. Tung 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 sahur, and then there is also bananini, and then there are multiple
all
characters, a
French
lot of
and
characters.
Latin
Yes.
for me. I have no idea what is being said in
Oh
the
my
last
God.
1 minute
No,
or so.
like it.
What is your perspective on the character?
I have no idea. I have no. I'll check with my son and I'll get back to you.
So I think we're going to wrap up. We have a few more questions, but I think we're coming to the end of this live. Thank you so much for writing, engaging with us. You might have liked our work. You might have had some critical views on it. But it's so important that you tell us what you think so we can keep improving where we can. But most importantly, we know that we have your backing, even if we are working with a small team, as somebody pointed out. It's very fulfilling to know that we have our subscribers supporting us and backing us. Shabir, I leave it to you to wrap this up and also assure our viewers that we will continue with our coverage.
Okay, so there's one more comment that I want to read. So, thank you for putting in the hard work to go to the ground, gather the right information, and publish. When many chose to speculate and speak with false confidence, your commitment of finding out what was actually happening really stood out. Thank you so much. So, this is what we do, guys.
This is exactly why you should contribute to our reporting fund, because all of us, that will help us go on the ground, bring you ground voices that much more. There will be a link in the description, in the comments. You can click on that and contribute to our reporting funds, because this way we can ensure across the states that we cover, we hit the ground more often.
Yes.
With that, we come to the end of this. Thank you so much. We hopefully come back with one such thing, one such live. It was fun, Shabir, engaging with people.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you informed about when the floor test is. The drama is far from over here in Tamil Nadu. But hopefully, not too much, so that I can go back home to Bangalore and resume regular programming.
I was just messaging one of my colleagues who has come from Delhi. So I was like, okay, she said that she's going back home. Which means that there's nothing much that is going to happen. Or if you guys have any surprises from Delhi. So I think somebody had put out a comment saying Vijay as CM is real. I think, we have entered a new era in Tamil Nadu politics, and we will keep a close watch, and we will
interesting times ahead. Thank you for joining us.